the hardest working podcast in Portland, Oregon, man.
Play no
Game. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Play No Games podcast. It's your boy, Cartier Bob.
Cartier Bob.
Stop saying that. I have zero gang activity inside of me. If the only gang activity I have is podcast wars, there we go. That's the only gang I'm repping. There we go. But once again, it's Cartier Bob.
Yes, it is. Oh, and it's Koss and Arthur.
So, welcome to another installment of the Play No Games podcast /
show.
And before we get started with everything, this show is meant to put you on a higher vibration, higher frequency, to help you with those social situations, love life, and most importantly, self-help. Now, a word from our sponsors. Me. I'm the sponsor. I'm the sponsor.
No Raid Shadow Legend?
No Leagues of Shadow Legend.
no.
Like, that's how you know you made it. With Leagues of
Raids.
Yeah,
when Raid hits us up, yeah.
Can you find the link on this on this screen? You got 10 seconds to do it. Yeah.
Please download this firmware.
If you like what we're doing, we're on Instagram. Lookhere.fri. Also, if you want to donate, it'd be most appreciated to help us grow. Hero, Bob, Cash App, $, Hero, Rob, Bob, one of those two. I can't wait to flash the very first donation we get. Actually, we've gotten donations before, but not in the way that I needed them. I tell you all the time. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for us. And I'm going to pass it to our chef of the podcast, and he's gonna lace y'all with the next segment.
Yo. This is your boy. I'm just playing.
You go.
So this is the most important segment of the show.
By far.
The Play No Games segment. It could be positive, it could be negative, it can be informative, it could just be how your day was. All you got to do is say, we ready to play no games about this. Koss, what you playing no games about?
I am playing no games about national pride.
Mm-hmm.
How about that one?
Okay.
So, as many people know, the U.S. men's national team did go out of the World Cup to the Netherlands in the round of 16 this past weekend. Just seen a lot of people coming out saying, hey, like, why are we waving U.S. flags around? Why are we caring so much about this here and there? And I don't know, that kind of rubbed me off the wrong way, in a way. I felt like, I don't know, I get why people have a distaste for, like, national pride and nationalism in this way. But I don't know, like, as someone who's, like, personally, like, an immigrant myself as well, I don't know, I've seen the other side of the world. I've seen what it's like, and you know what? I am going to be happy for America. I'm going to be happy for the U.S., especially in a sport where we're not number one, which I actually think makes it way more interesting. I think it makes it way more fun when we're the underdog playing against the big countries versus when we're dunking on France by 50 points in the Olympics in basketball. I am going to cheer for the U.S., and I'm going to do it with pride because I think it's good to be prideful of where you're from at the end of the day.
I respect that. I think, when we talk about, like, that central cultural pride, like, you see a lot of Mexican folks representing their colors when their team is playing or whenever, and people are always like, dang, man, like, y'all always have so much pride, and it's like what you going to, it's like people have pride in where they come from, represent where they come from, and it's like you shouldn't be shy away from that. Especially when it's like a world stage like this. I think it's important to represent who you represent. I think that's dope. I respect what you said.
Yeah, and absolutely. I feel like America's unique in a way where it's like you really don't have to be born here to be an American.
Mm-hmm.
It's so like as long as you're here, you're living, you're contributing to the society and the economy. You're an American in that regard. So yeah, just wanted to say that.
I respect that. Robert, as you get settled in, you thinking about what you playing no games about with, right?
My mic's on? Okay. Yeah, I know I'm not playing no games about.
What you not playing no games about,
Oh my
Robert?
gosh. All right. Not the text I wanted, but anywho, you know what I'm not playing no games about? All y'all cheaters. You know what? Indonesia got tired of y'all, all this infidelity, and now, thanks to now this no, thanks to this is news. Indonesia has made sex outside of marriage punishable. I'm not
Oh,
playing no
wow.
games about bringing that to the U.S.
Oh shit.
You know what would defer someone? I want to see how bad someone really wants someone. If you get, I want to propose this to y'all. If you would get 1 year's worth of jail time for cheating outside your relationship, do you think that would cut divorce in half?
No,
No, not at all.
1 year
no,
for cheating.
no. I still figure like
Oh.
I still figure like people would find a way to still cheat and not get caught.
I'm playing no games about bringing that shit to America, bro. That's not.
But you know, that's just like it also means like no sex, like as like dating sex either.
Hey, look here. That
So-
country is doing what they doing. All I know is I saw it on my feed and I was like, this
just
is hilarious.
like I saw that report, and one of the parts was like, now you have to be careful when you go there and you book one room for 2 people. They're gonna check if you're like married.
I'll cross it off the map. So wow, interesting. But I think I'm playing no games about that. But no. But yeah. I was just curious. So y'all really think that wouldn't deter people if it was
No.
a year's worth of jail time?
I think you might get some thought in like 5 years of jail time. I think you would get more of a thought.
That's
I
too
think-
harsh.
I think there'd be more divorces.
Do you think so? Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
I think people want to get out of a relationship to avoid jail time.
that's fine, but I'm saying I was just thinking, wouldn't it just make relationships more meaningful? Where I'm like, all right, yeah, we signed this marriage contract, and if you have evidence, or I get Chris Hansen to figure out some shit,
What? Where's Chris Hansen coming to this?
bro, he be finding shit out. He's like, have a seat. Like,
Have
would
a
that be
seat.
scary? Would that be scary? Like, you come home from work and he's just have a seat for me. Like, whoa, why are you here? And he just throws the documents. See, we gotta get him back. He's been out of the circuit. He really did a lot of good work. Let's be
He's
honest.
been on a lot of podcasts. like,
He's
the last
done a
2
lot of
years.
good work for our society. Chris Hansen is a real one. He just needs to change his trajectory. You know, he's seen a lot. Now he's just got to catch some cheaters.
I'm curious what his background is. How do you think a guy gets a job like that?
Okay. Y'all got to fact check me on this. I believe, and I might be mixing up my people. I think his dad or someone worked in like the news,
Mm-hmm.
and like he was just following the footsteps of his dad, and he stumbled into this job. But please fact check me on that. I may be mixing up my white men, but
Happens all the time.
dang, you know.
God damn.
But I think that's
The
why.
face
But no, I think that was happening. I caught a little bit of that. He has an interesting story because that podcast. I think he was on like a show and he was just talking about was not say the whole word, was kind of like blur some of the things of what Chris Hansen was doing. Just throwing it out there when he was catching, you know, for child pee and all that other stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just cheaters.
No, he.
Oh no, he called like the guys going for the young ones.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was.
That's the best show.
I think I can't believe we're going there. I think my very first time watching Chris Hansen, there's this like dude who comes in. He has like a box of pizza.
That's the best one. That's the best episode right there.
He's like, what are you doing here today?
The guy kept offering pizza to Chris too. That's the best part.
He's like, I came to party.
Came to party.
And then he was like, do you want to leave? I really genuinely thought a homeboy was like, man, I really dodged the bullet, man. I'm out of here. I got a box of pizza. And then as soon as he left, they said, get him, boys. They
Yeah,
fucked him
yeah.
up.
That was always the best part about that show too, where the guys would leave thinking they're like good, and then the cops would just be waiting outside.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
AJ, what are you playing no games about?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Andrew's gonna give us the facts. Andrew with the facts. Andrew with the facts. Andrew with the facts.
Jesse Hansen's dad doesn't seem to be of any like journalistic importance. But he grew up watching the FBI and police investigate Jimmy Hoffa, which was a labor union leader who was killed, because that's what happens to labor union leaders. Sorry, it's unfortunate state.
Damn.
But he graduated with a master's in arts and journalism. So
Y'all see that? That's a Costco sample of what's coming to y'all January, 1.
You guys, sorry, Joe Rogan reference. Sorry.
The joke is.
Well, you said Jamie?
Yeah, because
That's his wife's name.
Oh, really? Oh,
That's-
okay.
yeah.
Sorry. That's Joe's assistant.
Wow, this guy, whoa. He's like, what's you trying to say? Hey, Arthur, you got.
It's a unisex name.
Hey, wait, was I the last one?
No, he hasn't gone yet.
Really? After all that time I was gone, you had nothing.
You're gone for like 2 minutes. Thank you for the water, by the way.
Man, I'm quick. Fast don't lie.
Quick answer.
I ain't playing no games with. Ooh. I think I appreciate working with high school kids a lot more. It makes me reflect on why I don't have any, and why I'm on the back end of like not wanting any, because there's just so much like drama, and so many things like tied into it. I respect high school kids, man. Love working with kids, man. It's a blessing in disguise. You see a lot, but I'm playing no games with, man. Just like, what is it called? Where they're like, they help you so you don't have a baby. Like they're like your they're like,
Counselor?
you know how women say like, I have baby fever, so I'm gonna go work with a baby, so I don't have a baby.
What the fuck?
Whoa. This is above my pay grade.
Do you know what that's called?
Sabufu.
I don't know what that. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so
Are you having teenage fever?
no. Something similar to that. Like it helps me so I don't like want to have kids.
Oh, okay.
Like in that aspect.
Uh-huh.
Working
Okay,
with
great.
kids.
We're really working through this. I was like, well, this is great.
Yeah.
I was like, good thing we, this is not live.
I'm curious.
Oh,
though, what's
It's like
going on?
baby fever, I guess.
Well, baby fever means you want a baby.
But they go work with babies so that they
and then
don't
they
have.
I
Baby
think he's
fever.
having.
see how the hot dog's made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's called.
Man.
I don't know what it's called.
So
I'm trying to explain it, but I don't know. Anyway,
We get the point though.
Anyway.
You don't want kids.
So you enjoy working with children and teens, and working with the teens you were working with, you were able to be like, man, not being like a parent, but like you were like, oh, I was able to, guide,
help
a mentor,
Mold.
guidance counselor.
mold children into being a better individual.
Hey, we're damage controlling the best we can, man.
Absolutely.
No, he's doing
And,
great. What are the kids talking about nowadays? Like, what's a hot topic in the schools right now?
oh snap!
Starting fights
I was
or
gonna say
starting
something
arguments
disgusting.
or what?
It's always the same. I mean, I think those don't ever change when it comes to high school. I mean, cheating is always on there. It's like weird, interesting stuff. Their lingo is so different. Like, that's what be killing me. Like like they said, mid, as in like regular conversation.
Mid.
Like, oh yeah, no, you just mid. I was like, wait, what? Like,
Damn.
like I was like, I understand what that is from, smoking reference, like, but I've never heard it used in like context of like a conversation.
Yeah.
Like that for me, you kind of threw me for a loop, and I was like, huh? Like what? But it also made me feel hella old, so yeah. That's what I'm not playing no games with. So I respect children, all children. Help you mold into the best individual you could be. Respect and peace and love. One and only. All right, Robert. We back on you. Yeah, you got caught. Yeah. Today I think is gonna be interesting. interesting show.
Would you like to start off? How am I sounding? Would you like to start?
I mean, I can,
You got
Yeah, you got
but I
some good
have like
topics.
multiple topics. So like,
we'll start with you. We'll go around the room.
so do we want to go positive or negative? I think they're both kind of.
I'll let you decide.
So we always start with sports here. For somehow we always
Sportscast.
And Robert hates it.
Sports podcast alert.
So we gonna step into the sports side of things before we get into the lovey-dovey stuff. So recently, Deion Sanders took a contract to University of Colorado to be the head football coach. His contract was $500 million.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I don't know how many years, but fact check for you, Andrew. Could you possibly see how many years that contract was? But
I think it's like
Deion
I
Sanders.
believe it's like 7 or 8 or 10.
Now Nick Saban has to restructure his contract.
And so there's been a whole lot of backlash from it. There's also been a whole lot of positive from it. Shannon Sharp had talked about how he did it for his family. He respects that, even though he went to HBCU. He learned a lot from HBCU, got him to where he is today.
Yeah.
4 years, $500 million.
Ooh.
500 million? 1.2 million?
A year? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So almost 500 million. Or almost 5 million. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. My number's way off. But anyway, Jackson State.
Damn. Oh, sorry.
So Jackson State was only going to pay him like what? It was like 3 million or something like that, or 300,000 or something. 300,000. Jackson State was only going to pay him 300,000. And so, what do you guys think of him leaving Jackson State and going to Colorado?
Do you want to start me? I think it's fair. I mean, from his perspective, he's getting times 4 the money he would have gotten if he stayed at Jackson State. In terms of like specifically business and sports business, it totally makes sense. He'll be able to bring prospect like legit high school talent in, being in the Pac-12 versus I don't even know what conference or what division Jackson State plays in. Are they Division 2 or are they Division 1?
They're Division 1 HBCU, so they're like SWAC, Southwest Athletic Conference.
Southwest, yeah. Can they be in the top 25?
No, they're not in FBS.
They're not FBS. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like exactly that, where it's like now he's going to be on nationally televised games.
He was nationally televised,
but they weren't until he got there.
True.
More often
he'll be on the Pac-12 network. He'll have interviews on ESPN, on Fox Sports. He'll bring talent from here and there, and maybe this parlays himself into a career in the NFL, where African American coaches are underappreciated, but there's a better word, underrepresented. Yes. So the way I see it is this is like almost like a normal ladder you would climb in the sports world. I understand that it is an HBCU and people saw it as like a big, like, hey, he's bringing a lot of attention to an HBCU. This is really great for it, which it was. At the end of the day, money talks, and it's all about climbing the ladder. That's the way I see it. So I understand his move. I get why some people may not love it, though.
What do you think, Robert?
I think with the whole situation, I think one thing we have to do is like even take it back even further is Jackson State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was one of the only schools to give Deion the opportunity to do what he wants to do, and what a lot of people don't know is he lost a lot of money. Because everybody counts pockets nowadays. Like, oh, Damian Lillard's got $110 million contract. Because you get this, you have to do these things. So like once people know how much money you have in quotations, that's we need you to do all these different things. But what is not broadcast and talked about is the money that he poured into. I think he took half of his salary or $100K of his salary to help finish the facilities there. He also has a network built with the kids that he's worked with, and he has like ongoing programs. So I feel like a lot of the stuff that's not talked about is the money that he doesn't get recouped, but I don't think he's more or less concerned about recouping that money. I think more or less, from what I've seen from Prime Time, is he's more concerned about the person. And one of the things that I will always quote in my top 50 quotes, Heath Ledger, Batman, he says, if you do something good, never do it for free. And I said, by George, he's fucking got it. And my thing is, what a lot of people don't understand is, a little bit long-winded, but I have to explain this because I understand Deion mindset. When I was young, I sold candy. And what happened was, I think I got some birthday money and allowance when I was like in the 6th, 7th grade. And I wanted to make more money because I wanted to buy a Pokemon game. and and when my mom went to Costco, I took all my money and just bought all the Costco candy. And then when I went the very first time, I sold it at store prices. I didn't really get business. So second time around, because I kind of made my money back because I was still competing with the stores, I had a plan. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take all the customers from the student store and the corner store. So I did the Walmart approach, and I was like 50 cent for Starburst, 50 cent for Kit Kats, things like that. And I promise y'all, for 3, 4, 5 months, I didn't recoup my money, but I gained a lot of business, and I gained a lot of people being like, "Man, I can get 2 Snickers for $1." Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit you up at the top of the week, man. You gotta get me before everyone else get me. So I hold myself in the beginning to know that once I get enough people to know and believe in me, I started taking more customers from the student store than the corner store. And then I remember, I think it was like 8th grade, I was making so much money from like candy because I was able to buy 3 and 4 times like my regular stock because people were like, all right, I'm gonna give you 20 now because one, I'm a trustworthy person, and like, all right, you get the very first top row, and people will be set. So get this. So get this, y'all. I think it was like right after like winter formal, they called me into the motherfucking principal's office, and I was like, I was like, what's going on? What's going on? They're like, Rob, we need to talk to you. And like, I thought I was about to get in trouble with some shit, but they were like, we see that you're selling candy. And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this for like the last 2 years. And they're like, we're going to suspend you if you don't stop selling candy. And come to find out, I put the student store out of 8th grade and the back end of 7th grade out of business. They stopped buying shit. They stopped buying candy. And, that's why you go to the student store, for candy and not the rulers. So the reason why I want to connect this with the Deion Sanders thing is I know he lost money to invest in those boys and to invest in the product, because they're a lot of those guys from Jackson State are going to be going to the NFL. Yeah. So long-winded way that I know what to do with that cash when I got it. But I appreciate his model.
I I personally disagree.
That's fair.
Like, to be honest, I felt like what he was doing was bigger for the culture than what he's doing now. I feel like he took, like, don't get me wrong, what he did for Jackson State has been amazing. But I don't think HBCUs will continue to get the recognition they need to get in order for them to make money, enough money to pay people like Deion Sanders to come back and coach. And for someone to get into an argument with another coach and say, I am SWAC, just to leave, to me is hypocritical. And that was a huge thing, to the point where he made a T-shirt about it. I am SWAC, that had literally I am SWAC on it. And he not only is taking players from HBCU schools going to Colorado, but he's taking his son too, going to Colorado. His son will be the starting quarterback at University of Colorado, bumping out the starting quarterback that was there. So it's like there's aspects of what he's doing for me that I'm like, I think he could have made a bigger impact on Jackson State and HBCUs as a whole, because the talks were Jackson State, we're going to play in Alabama next year. We're going to play Mississippi State next year. We're going to play some of these big-time schools, which would have got them more money, which would have gave HBCUs more notoriety to play some of these other schools. Now, does that happen? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because the number one recruit in the nation's not going to Jackson State anymore. He's going to Colorado. So it's like, this is an opportunity I feel like, in my opinion, he fell short in. Yes, the money is great, but I think it's a problem in our community to where I was having this conversation the other day, is when things are good, we try and get as much money as we can. And we don't realize that when things are good, we also have to see what we're doing and how can we present it so that we can have other people step into our shoes before we go get more money. Because now who replaces him in that aspect of caliber? You know what I'm saying? There's no other coach like a Deion Sanders that can come in and bring that attention to Jackson State that he brought. But what if there was somebody who can be close, who goes to an Alabama A&M, you know what I'm saying, and does similar things in Alabama A&M or, you know, Florida Atlantic or whatever. Some of these other HBCUs that needed this same rev up. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. Colorado doesn't need a Deion Sanders because they can give him already $5 million like they did. They don't need a D, but Jackson State does. That's why they can't afford to give him that much money. And I understand his aspect of getting money for his family, but he don't really need that. In my opinion, he don't really need it.
Now, do you think it's a money thing from his perspective? Because he did earn quite a bit of money playing as well, and then he did TV broadcasts. Or do you think it's the aspect of him being like, I want the next level?
I feel like even so, he in the 3 years he was at Jackson State, he's won 30. I think it was like 32 out of 36 games or something. They went undefeated 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Won 2 SWAC championships in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about that. If you have 5 years in a row winning championships, going undefeated for 4 years at least, you're not going to tell me no NFL coach is not going to call you from there.
I don't know. From my perspective, or what I would see him being as like, you know what, I've dominated this. I want to test myself in the FPS, like biggest version of what I'm doing now.
But what I'm saying is like they were gonna go play FBS schools next year. They were working on the Alabama Jackson State game,
but not in bowl games, and like.
But I mean, in a regular
season.
game. So like, right? So even if I go play 3 FBS schools in a year and we go beat all 3 FBS schools and we go kill our conference, how many of those kids, think about the kids that now come to HBCUs? Because it's a representation, I think, and an understanding. Like he had the number one recruit in the nation coming to an HBCU, which is great in an aspect of where other recruits coming. And I think it's the aspect of where are these players going. These players are going where coaches are. They're not going where schools are anymore. They're going where coaches are.
And where the NIL money is.
They're going to get NIL money wherever they go.
Yeah. That's why I think like Jackson State did also recruit well, because they had the eye on them through Deion.
Absolutely. Which is still going to be on Deion when he's at Colorado, which is still going to be on Deion if he went to Florida. It was still going to be on Deion if he went to he was supposed to go. Someone else was trying to recruit him to go somewhere else. I think it was Florida State or something like that. Mm-hmm. The eyes would have still been on him. So regardless of wherever he goes, and I think that is the importance, I think, of his recognition on himself, is wherever he goes and he's successful, the eyes will be on him. So, go ahead.
And this is where I have to say, I agree with you to a certain extent, but I disagree. The reason why I disagree is Black excellence is a beautiful thing, but can we celebrate just being average and Black? Like, first set things, I appreciate it. It's fine, but like I look at it like this. There should be 10 more Deion Sanders.
Absolutely.
And there should be, like, to put that all on Deion Sanders, because there's a lot of other retired people who've never done what Deion's done. Absolutely. And as soon as Deion or Primetime starts doing it, everyone is like, oh, you should be, you're the one to to take HBCUs to the next level. We don't know what his true intention is, and the reason why I also bring that up too as well is like I listened to maybe like half of the press conference he had with the when he was leaving Jackson State, when he was talking to the team. The person that he has next up is a good dude. Like, he can continue the legacy. Maybe that's on his heart to do that, because also kind of go further what you're doing too as well, talking about that. If we look at the Pac-10, right? There's no black head coach. There's no black staff. There's not, and also too, and because all my thoughts are everywhere, he doesn't want to go to the NFL. I think you were saying that. I think one of his things, he wants to teach young men to go into the NFL. And if we look at most of all of, then you guys got to correct me if I'm wrong, college sports, how many black head coaches are there?
I don't know that. I don't know that number.
I don't think
there is. But
Stanford just got rid of theirs.
Okay,
they had one.
They had one
football for years.
For years,
there's Shaw.
David Shaw. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll just say this: one,
because doesn't Washington State, I think had one after what's his name left.
Mike Leach.
Mike Leach left. I think Washington State had one. I don't know the number.
In college football, probably not the most. College basketball,
Taggart. Willie Taggart was around.
So all I'm saying is, we talk about in sports about, at least at the college level, we have like the Nick Sabans, things like that. We don't have anyone in the African American community that is like to that level. And my thing is that I feel like having him do what he wants to do, and him to be able to be in that position to open up doors, because I don't think he's done talking about Jackson State. Everyone's making all these assumptions too as well. And then on top of that too as well, that's just another outlet or another place for people to go to. Mm-hmm. It's like the people who are complaining, I know they haven't donated to an HBCU at all. Like,
yeah, and you could also even look at it as maybe now who use HBCUs as a transfer pool for Colorado players to get kids that went to HBCU, almost like a JUCO system, where now they get more recognition if they go transfer to Colorado, play with him, versus if they would have stayed at that HBCU. I don't know, just
and to your point of like him, because I remember he's like, I am swag. Look here, homeboy was being wild with the whole like, you didn't shake my hand, right? Disrespect, and like that's the swag like you just bring to like, you was talking shit about me. Now I'm gonna finish what I'm doing, but yeah. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. Like, maybe that man's dream was to be a college, like at that level.
FBS.
So
there was 13 African American coaches in 2020.
Okay,
that's the only list I can find right now.
2020.
Only three.
Oh, put him on the mic saying, "Oh, you
said Edwards, by the way, would have been another one for Arizona State, but I think he recently just got let go."
All right, perfect. Next, for y'all people, listen to this as well.
So only 25 have been hired since 1989, and there are only 3 currently, and there's 5 vacancies.
And I promise you right now, the training staff, things that you're trying to do, all the there's probably never been an all black. I don't think Deion's gonna do all black, but like an all black like coaching staff. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, now we get a Wakanda in Colorado,
Boulder.
Can you imagine if Ray Lewis came out? If Ray Lewis came out, that's probably gonna be the best school.
All I'm saying, but I don't know. I think that's my perspective. We're like, we can't have our cake and eat it too. Like, don't get me wrong. I'll say this right now. I'm not gonna be a relationship martyr person. When I'm 40, hopefully from 31 to 40, I finish what I need to finish on this relationship circuit. Then I pass the baton off because I want to chill the fuck out. Or like, I have a time frame on this shit that I'm doing. So like, I'm not dying for y'all to understand the true capacity of love. I am gonna talk a lot of shit about it, but like, that's my choice. But
respect it. Respect. I think it was just a hot topic that's in the news, and I think it's a hot topic, I think, in the community, and something I felt like it was important to talk about. Yeah. We don't know his intention. We don't know his decision, why he made the decision. Sorry. But, Something good to talk about.
Thank you for bringing it up. I actually didn't know people were mad at him for leaving Jackson State.
yeah.
A lot of people
I
were.
did not know that.
A lot of crabs in the barrel. I'll say it.
I don't see it as crabs though. Like
For
culturally, I think there's aspects of it that like play a piece. I understand what you're talking about.
some of the people who are talking at him, and I'll just say this: how you presented it, out in your way, I'm like, that's totally fine to have the perspective. A lot of people are saying a lot of like horrible things. Where I'm like, oh yeah, you're a crab ass nigga. I'm like, okay, you can shut up.
Again, I respect it.
Yeah,
I understand his decision. I get it. Well, and the money aspect of it, I understand that. The other end, yeah. But I'm also not in that situation, so that's very true. Go ahead.
all right. Cassian, what you got for us?
Nothing at the moment.
Wow,
I'll think of something.
I thought you had something.
Nothing in the Twitter space, nothing in the business.
Give me a
sector?
sec. Bring up the next topic. I'll have
You want to talk
something
about
ready.
your boy Elon?
Elon. What about him? Yeah, sure. We can talk about Elon. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, how are you?
What-
He's been.
Yeah, so I know of late what Elon did was he uncovered what Twitter was censoring, essentially based off of the DNC, the Democratic Party. Essentially, he did a whole live stream showing off what former Twitter execs, the back and forth emails they had with representatives from the Democratic Party on stuff that they didn't want public on Twitter. That's what people right now have been like praising him for, because it'd be a lot of like, hey, the Democratic representative would be like, hey, we don't want this out on the platform, and it'd just be a, yeah, got it response. That's what I last heard on the whole Twitter aspect of Elon. I want to see what Andrew has to
You
say though.
summoned the fact dragon.
So yeah, if you actually look at the links that they,
Yeah.
unveiled,
Mhm.
they're just pictures of Hunter Biden's penis and him naked. It's literally like it's revenge porn, is what it is because it's other people posting pictures of Hunter Biden naked,
Okay.
and that's what they were trying to cover up was that situation.
Yeah.
And that's why it was banned on Twitter. Was for,
But other porn isn't banned.
which brings up another problem. But being that it was put on without his permission, that was where the problem came in.
I get it. Okay.
There's like a porn issue on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's a separate issue,
Yeah.
but that's that situation. It's
Mhm.
whatever.
Yes, it's a corn issue.
A corn issue. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a corn issue.
But yeah,
Our
other than
views
that,
are up now. They're paying attention.
the views are up. Yeah.
The views are actually, yeah.
Other than that, all I know is that they're running on like a staff of 50 to 100 people right now. They're not developing anything new. They're just maintaining the app. I'll tell you that. So
I'm
on a
not.
staff of 50 people doing a Twitter, you're running thin.
I'm not on Twitter, but I actually just recently read like 2 pages of an article of how hate speech is up on Twitter.
I believe it.
Anti-Semitism or butchered that.
That's the whole Kanye thing.
Oh yeah, you know what? We're going.
I didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah, guess what? We're turning right in the freeway, guys. We about to get your boy. But I just want to finish this point. That point is, I think, anti-Semitic things. Good job, Robert. Are up. Anti-gay men.
Homophobia.
Well, that's what the article said. I'm like, really remember that. It's an anti-gay man. That was up. And then I was surprised that those 2 things were up higher than like racism. So I was like, man, y'all really going at the Jewish people like that. Interesting. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Why is Big Crit Elon not taking care of all that hate speech?
Well, his whole plan of purchasing Twitter, as I know it, was to essentially make it like a free speech platform where you're allowed to say anything you want to say, which comes with a lot of problems, as you mentioned. So I don't know. I've always used Twitter as a way to get news. I do still believe it's a good way to get 5 minutes ago, boom, this happened, or like right on the dot news. But I'm reaching a point where I'm also thinking like what is the value here anymore? I hate my feed. I hate the people I follow. Like if you follow Bleacher Report, it's Laker Report. It's literally just it's nonstop cancer. Everything else is cancer. I can just download a news app and then just use that for news at the end of the day. So I don't know. I'm at that point right now.
I think for me, that's why I stopped Twitter a while ago, because it just became like the same cycle of just nothingness. But it for a while it did give me instant access to news. Like I was like, oh snap, that happened just now, and sometimes we'll learn about things before other people would. And so yeah,
I don't have a Twitter.
I don't have one either.
I think it's gonna slowly die off.
Think so?
I think it will slowly die off, because a lot of people just are kind of getting sick of it. I actually listened to a podcast about the slow death of social media, and how like it's almost inevitable because it's created. So it's completely it's gone from just like sharing back and forth conversations with friends and sharing memories to just like a place for conspiracy theories and like hate speech and all this. It's completely shifted its purpose. So eventually the consumer votes with their wallet in a way, with how they use it. So there is this theology out there, theory that social media will eventually whittle away.
I think it'll stay because of the youth, but it'll just be in different forms. Like, you heard of Be Real?
No.
So Be Real is a new app that the kids use. You take a picture, and it takes a picture of you and what you're doing, and it's like you can only see other people's if you post. And
Okay.
it's like an Instagram like type situation, but it takes a photo of you and whatever you're doing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so like I think they'll come out with new social media
I see
things
what you're saying.
that will replace Instagram. It'll be like how they say Facebook's for old people now. Like,
Yeah. I could see that. I could see more engaging forms of social media as well. Like TikTok, I think is an example of that, where you're physically scrolling through videos versus YouTube. You just plop it and watch it. Like I think TikTok is the first evolution where you're scrolling through videos and content.
Nah, YouTube, Instagram ain't going nowhere. Let me tell you, it ain't going nowhere. I don't think.
YouTube, no. Instagram, Meta's in the shitter right now. Meta's
How much-
70% down.
See, I knew I can drag it out
Valuation
of
from
you.
from $1 billion evaluation to 200 million.
And everyone, here's the Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm just Meta's doing real bad.
I guess the one thing, I guess for me, like when I hear about like Twitter and all the other stuff, is like, I guess the best way I can explain it is like, I guess I just don't get it.
mm,
Like I get Instagram, like yeah, you can see my picture, you get a caption, but Twitter, you're kind of like, I can't believe blah 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 blah, and retweets. I'm just kind of like, it's just a
The whole goal of Twitter really is just there'll be a Twitter post, you reply to that post with something witty, and then your reply is almost more famous than the original post.
okay.
That's the real point of Twitter.
What about Woj bombs and shams? When
Woj
they go
bomb,
after
sham?
when they go after each other, that's the best.
That is
that's
fun.
the only good time of year for Twitter.
See, that's like a Twitter thing. There's like subcultures of Twitter because you have that. That's a part of Twitter. You have
it's the only time my Twitter is active for the most part.
you have Fabrizio Romano.
Or
who's
when I
another-
actually have alerts going on.
yeah.
And speaking of tweets, man, we got dropped the Woj bomb from Mr. West.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying?
oh my
You know what
god.
I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Hey, is Woj Jewish too?
Don't want to make any assumptions.
Anywho, my transitions are on point. Anywho, wow, we've been talking about this.
Man,
We've been talking about this for years.
about this motherfucker.
And I had to get this on camera.
It'd be good if we had a compilation of everything we said.
You know,
like a 10-minute compilation of like a yay.
when I get someone who's better at the video editing than me,
Andrew.
no, I'm already overworking him.
We need a super edit.
I think we just need to add one more person and their job is that.
A meme generator.
That too, and just I don't want a video edit anymore. I definitely want my hands on it, but yeah, I want them to do it. But yeah, man, like we gotta get this on camera because we love you, man. Like we love you,
man.
bro. We got. Are you gonna? All right. Just like how Kyrie had to denounce all these things, we gotta listen to man's costs.
Yes.
Where are your listen to man's for Kanye?
Oh,
So he can come back from the sunken place. Like he's beyond the sunken place. He's 5 feet under.
He's burying it.
He's-
Not even burying. He's got the fucking excavator digging it himself.
It's worth
Yes,
listening to
I
bands.
denounce Kanye West.
really?
No, I haven't. Honestly, I haven't listened to him since the first kind of anti-Semitic stuff came out about like 3-4 months ago. To show a little metaphor for it is I have a shelf where I keep like vinyl records. One of them is my favorite album. Used to be my favorite album of all time, Twisted Dark. My Dark Twisted Fantasy. I have shelved that. I've put it
Damn.
away. Illmatic has gone on the shelf as like the prime
Hey.
time. Like,
I'll take
hey.
it.
Yeah. So
Damn, Daniel.
so I had to shelf that just to like not look at it every day. Yeah, it's tough out there, man. What speaks the most volume about all of it of yes of what he said, but also it's like guys like Alex Jones and Gavin McInnes, who are guys who like first off the media absolutely destroys it, and guys that probably deserve it too. Almost trying to help him in these situations when he's like, well, you don't hate Hitler, or he's like, you don't hate the Jewish people, right? And now I hate them. Or it's like, oh, you just, or like Alex Jones was like, oh, you didn't love the Nazis, you just like their outfits, right? And Connor's like, no, I love the Nazis, and it's just the insane stuff that is coming out of him right now.
I'm sorry, the text message I wanted to come through came through, boys. We up. I hope, and this is a diary. Quick side note. Hopefully in February, I can tell you all what's been going on. Yes, please hold my hand. I'm shaking. Because if this goes through, boys, put my jersey in the motherfucking rafters. But anyway, that's not here or there. Charlamagne the God said some.
God.
I got a text on one of the guys. Crack. Anywho,
That's cocaine, by the way. Not crack.
Hey, I want to say I'll say this. Cost know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Cost know what I'm talking about. Can I get a shake? Can I get a shake up? Yeah. All I'm saying, y'all, I can't tell y'all what I've been up to, but I've been on my Drake, her loss type of shit.
Come on, man.
But anyway,
Let's keep it going.
but keep it on topic. Charlamagne.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, Charlamagne got made a point. He was on, I think he was on Brilliant Idiots talking about this, and then made news.
They still make new episodes of Brilliant Idiots?
Of course,
I thought
Brilliant Idiots is fantastic.
that hasn't popped up on my feed in a minute. I thought they stopped making
No.
it.
So he said this. I believe it wasn't on Flagrant. I think it was on Brilliant Idiots. He said this. How Kanye West is moving. He said he's moving in a way that he doesn't want to be here. And Kevin Durant and other people took that as you're wishing death upon Kanye West. And someone who works in the mental health field, we kind of have those conversations where like how this person is talking, with how they are saying certain things, being like, man, do we have to make a mandatory report?
Mhm.
And like people took that left. And like I watched that real time and like I thought nothing of it. And as someone who's like searching and sifting through and like, all right, why did this person say this word? Like, oh, Robert, I want to, Cartier Bob, I want to give you this.
CB.
Thank you. CB, I want to give you this medal. Oh, why are you giving me this medal? It's just something that's really important to me. I want you to have that. I'm immediately going to what's going on? Or are you having thoughts? Because how Homeboy's been moving, he's distancing himself because there's two ways. You could
So just to get your opinion, do you think he is moving in that direction or not?
I definitely think it's a manic episode that's going on,
Yep.
but also still how he's moving is where like when you're that powerful, when you're that powerful and have that much influence, and I guess the way I can say that's like the opposite. What?
Go ahead.
No.
To me, I feel like it's a game to him. because he is that powerful. He can say whatever he wants to say, which he said multiple times. He's like, I can say whatever I want to say. And even to the extent of what just got put out, like for the world to react the way it is after something that he said, after all the other stuff that he said, it's like confirming what he's been saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that for me is like, bro, like he literally just told y'all he can say whatever he wants to say and the world's going to react to it, and you react to whatever the hell he going to say. And it becomes now the topic of discussion across the board. That to me is a problem. Like that to me is like people need to start thinking before they just react and not just try and go for the story of because it's so and so. Like who cares? Like who care? We understand he's going through something, but if for you to be a part of his game that he's playing, where he can just one day post about this person, next day post about that person, and then post about this person, and oh yeah, back to regular scheduled program. Like
But we live in a culture. What's his name? The dude from That's So Raven, Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Brown.
Sorry.
Orlando Brown.
Yes,
Around, yeah.
bro. That actually sounded like Doodle Bob.
You see them, but no one talks about him, and he's going through the same stuff Kanye's going through because he doesn't have the money Kanye has. He doesn't have the light that Kanye has.
But people will still interview him for entertainment. And the reason why Alex Jones had him on was influence, entertainment, and money. And my thing is, even though, actually, no, don't take that route. I appreciate the shop and what LeBron James did by not posting the Kanye West interview, even though secret ulterior motives. But no, I'm not gonna go down that because it's conspiracy theory. But no, like that's how responsible like a program. Like I'm speaking, this will come out next week, but like we're gonna be doing the relationship topics, right? We're like, or not, it's not, fuck that. I know all of us, we're not trying to have I got your moments with people. Like if someone says something and there's wild boy stuff, we're like, all right, you sure you want to keep that? Now, you know that's just like, that's a responsibility like networks should have. Where it's like, I'm not going to have a person on and I know they're not physically, mentally conscious. Mm-hmm. That's why sometimes I will actually throw this in, which is crazy. Sometimes I disagree with Drink Champs. Like, sometimes you listen to Drink Champs, they're like, you ain't drinking yet, and you gotta keep on drinking. Like, I'm like, so you literally trying to get these people fucked up to have these interviews. I'm just kind of like that. Like, for entertainment, I get it. But I think there was like one point, I think Kanye and someone else was on, or Big Sean was on, and he was like, Big Sean was on. It was like, he's like, I don't need to drink. And he's like, you got a problem? Like he asked one of the girls, the host, he's like, bro, do you got a drinking problem? Like, you need to stop. And then Kanye West was like, I don't want to drink, but he's like, you need to drink. And it's kind of like, what length will we go to make a point or to have someone on? What responsibility does a network have for having somebody on? So I say that's some responsibility.
Yeah, and you have to look at what networks are taking Kanye on now. It's very either right-leaning or like conspiracy theory-driven platforms. So I don't know. Once those people have had their fun with Kanye, I'm curious where he goes next. I don't know.
I think maybe he should just make an album out. That's
about what? About what? What do you want to listen to him say? Talk about.
He gonna talk more about Kim.
More about Kim. More about the Nazis and the Jews and the gypsies and all that.
Talk more about what he doing.
Damn. So now that you've denounced all gay,
yeah.
So what's worse, guys? R. Kelly or Kanye West?
Oh my
gosh. Racial draft. Blacks. How are we trading?
You guys want Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, nah, we could.
I'll trade Jeff for Kanye. I'll do that.
Nah. Who do we want? Ooh,
it'd be like going back. She's black already, so we give her back.
We'll take Luca. Luka for Kanye.
How was that a fair trade?
That is a very fair trade.
What was
Y'all,
that a fair
y'all get
trade?
music, we get basketball.
No.
Don't y'all want to dance?
This is fucked. But anyways, we'll give you Luca, but I need like a Michael B. Jordan or someone out of him.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Michael B. You in the phone. That's a top tier black. You can't, you can't be taking that from him.
That's
Look
hilarious.
here. He has buffed up. You know how y'all got to trade someone like before the value? Like, this is prime time. Like,
Oh, he's like 26, and he'd be like a prime guy right now.
no. Kanye's got one more golden eye bullet in there. We just need to trade him now before it happens.
You think he comes back from this?
Huh?
Yeah.
No, he's gonna do one more thing. I feel it in my
You think he
bones.
comes back from this?
No, he doesn't come back. He's going to do another thing,
Like another album or another
big
public
thing.
stunt?
Public stunt.
Are we gonna actually talk about it or just
Should we put
skim
it to
over
bed?
Are we just gonna skim over it or just
Skim over what?
If it's big enough, we gotta talk about it.
what do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's big enough to talk about?
I'm saying if it's like big enough.
No, I'm talking about this one. What we're talking about.
Oh, of course, because like if he does like some Michael Jackson shit and gets a baby over the balcony, we're definitely gonna be
Jesus
we're
Christ.
gonna be like, he needs to be stopped. He needs to be stopped. Yes, we're gonna talk about that.
No. But I'm talking about this situation that kind of brought Kanye West up in.
Oh, I feel like it was needed to be talked about is because I'll actually be honest with this. I believe if Kanye wasn't doing what he was doing at that point in time, Kyrie wouldn't have gotten in so much flack.
I think so
Interesting.
too.
Interesting.
I think so too.
That's fair. Yeah. You see Nike dropped Kyrie?
I think that was a mistake.
Nike dropping Kyrie.
They have sweatshops. Stop it.
I do this. I dislike when Nike play like the moral high ground. It's
Nike just trying to keep money, man.
It's a little disgusting, really, if you look at it, especially as someone who went to school for athletic, saw that industry, knows people who went to Vietnam as part of internships. The photos I got back, it's really fucked that like Nike then is like, we don't believe this fits our moral values and It's like, hey man, you know what? Shut up. Like you guys are fucked. The way you treat employees down from like the Nike campus in Beaverton to the ones out in fucking Vietnam, it's all fucked and they're all underpaid. There you go. So now what they're doing to OBJ. You see that? OBJ having to sue him?
Yeah.
Because they didn't pay him? Because he covered up the Nike logo with the ankle tape.
Yeah.
So they didn't pay him for the games he wore that, and now he has to sue him to get his money. It's just like a very classic Nike thing.
And it's man, why it's a world full of greed. But on a more positive note, we have a softer side of life from a softer artist in our midst.
Yes.
Me?
No,
I don't know about
Champagne Poppy himself.
Oh,
Did you see his recent post on Instagram?
I did not.
So he
Stop checking fancy.
I
got you red-handed, dude. Here, I'll pull up the Champagne Poppy post.
Whoa, I'm not doing that.
I was gonna I saved it. And do you want to read it?
You can read it, please. It's long.
It's very long.
Oh.
So Drake is standing. That's not even Drake. I don't even think that's Drake. You think that's Drake?
Which one?
This one?
I haven't gone that far.
It's the first. It's not a multiple photo.
Oh,
one.
it's not his most recent post. Which one is that?
Yeah.
This is his most recent post.
Oh no, this is a. Yeah, it is. It's his most recent. Maybe it's not him. Maybe this is someone else.
That is not him. I'm on the blue check one.
Who the hell is this?
Following fake pages. Goddamn.
How many followers does that Champagne Poppy have?
Goddamn.
80K.
Okay, this one has 126 million.
Yeah, that's
Good
not.
Lord.
So this is a writer. Some writer took over Drake's name,
Damage control.
but he posted something that I think is really dope. It's a figure standing with a woman in front of him at his hips. But it says, please just have the courage to let go of people who leave your heart confused. Let go of the people who make you feel like you are compromising all you desire and all that you hope for. and all the goodness and the beauty that you know exists in the world for a skinny version of love. Let go of the falling in love with potential. Let go of the falling in love with the idea of someone rather than who they truly are. Let go of the fears you have to keep you holding on to something that hurts, something that is too heavy, that is so heavy, something that has only left you feeling misunderstood and unworthy or at war with yourself. Let go of waiting for the people you have always treated kindly to treat you kindly. Let go of waiting for the people you have always treated with respect to treat you with respect. Let go of waiting for the people you have always chosen to finally choose you. Let go of waiting. Let go of holding your breath and just hoping that things change. Let go. Don't allow yourself to get comfortable existing in spaces where you know desire you desire better. Love is meant to be. Love is not meant to hurt. Love is meant to be given and love is not meant to be given in bare minimum. Love does not require you to be cooler or less emotional or less yourself for you to be worthy of meeting you. Love chooses you to be in the good and in the bad, and it isn't an almost thing. It's just something that you beg for. It is something that you have to fight for constantly. Something that you always source of
How
pain
many
and
characters
confusion
is
and
on
heart.
Instagram?
Yeah, I didn't know you read this much.
I did.
There is
exactly.
power in letting go of anything that is forcing you to let go of yourself. Don't ignore what you know in your
Got
heart,
'em.
and remember,
We
it's better to
fucking
be
got 'em.
alone than to feel lonely in what you're settling for. It is
The
better to
fu-
be alone than
That's
to
better.
try and fit your heart in your hands of someone who does not want to hold it. It's better to be alone than to fight for someone who is not fighting for you. It is better to be alone than to be on your own foundation and spend more time waiting for someone to see the beauty in what you're giving them. You deserve good love. Promise you'll go to anything that
This has been the character limit. Instagram don't have that much space.
promise you will let go of anything that does not feel that way. Promise to stand up for your heart.
What the fuck?
Damn, that felt like a Bible verse.
It was long.
That
It
felt
is
like-
very
Good
long.
Lord.
A fake champagne poppy page.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you posted. So some guy from Nebraska in his mom's basement
Probably.
was like, "Man, I'm about to inspire some people."
No, so someone else posted on their page, and I was like, "Oh, that's champagne poppy, whatever." I clicked on it, and I seen the picture, but then I started reading this, and I was like, "What this person is talking about?" I think a lot of people say but don't do, and I think there's aspects of what this person is bringing to a conversation that I think is important, and then especially when it talks about this, remember it talks about it's better to be alone than to feel lonely in what you're settling for. I think that part alone is powerful, right? Like we always talk about understanding yourself, and I think it's good for you to understand yourself and recognize your growth in as an individual. Um, I don't know. I thought it was just a powerful like thing to bring into a conversation in which we talk about relationships anyway. So how do you feel like this book made you feel?
we can't. We can't talk about things. We can't talk about that just yet until we got elephant in the room. You were just catfish.
I wasn't catfish.
Yes, the fuck you were. You
I
thought
wasn't-
that
he
was
got, he
strange.
got he got bait and switched.
Ah, but that shit be working sometimes. You think
Hey man,
that's-
that fake poppy has 80,000 people.
80,000 followers.
Man, you make a-
800,000
imagine,
followers.
you make a fake Robert Gill account.
I'm gonna blurb that, but yes.
A fake CB account.
There we go.
Mr. Bob here.
I think that's 107, you know. When he
and
said
you
my
get that-
name. All right, I believe it.
and you just get that many followers. That's I don't know. That's impressive.
So to go off what you were saying, because he ain't no Michelle, because Michelle was rocking that thing off last week. I'll say I like that. And I kind of want to combine your quote with what I had here too as well. 'Cause I think it goes so well with what I was gonna bring with it was the Good Morning America crew, and they were like cheating on each other.
Hmm.
So long story short, I want to make sure we keep what you were saying. There was the Good Morning America co-hosts, Amy Robuch and TJ Holmes. Long story short, they were cheating on each other.
But
and
they were
they're both-
together.
They're together.
And then
And
they're
now,
cheating.
Yeah, with each other.
So they were both cheating.
Yeah, with each other.
What do you mean with each other?
Like,
Oh, so they
Yes.
had other significant partners.
yes, they have husbands
But they
and
were sleeping
wives,
together.
and they were sleeping together, and they were on the show together. And, you know, TMZ and shit found out, or not TMZ, but whoever found out. And
Spare room.
This is why you worry when your wife says she's got to work, husband.
And the reason why I was not gonna lie, I wanted to, laugh at them because we was laughing at Ime Udoka and all them for being dummies for like doing that. Why you gonna cheat on your person with your work person? Like, can you do it elsewhere? But 'cause I want to rope in what you were saying, like that being gentle. Like, what's the purpose of a relationship? Where it's kind of like these two people were unhappy clearly in their relationship. Go down to the courthouse, hit Control-Alt-Delete,
Sign the paperwork.
sign the paperwork, and then commence the fucking with your coworker. I guess what that brought up for me is like people want to have their cake and eat it too. Where it's kinda
Absolutely.
like I love this thing right here, but like the regret of letting it go. Oh no. If you want that, you go and experience some pain. You don't have to tell your little girl, Daddy likes Amy. And also, I'll end on this. I am calling him out because Dr. Umar would be upset. The reason why he'd be upset is he made a post. He's like, I love this black woman. This black woman stuck with me through my ups and the downs like 2 years later, right? Like 2 years before they found out they were cheating with each other, right? And then you make that black woman post and then you cheat on her like that?
Dr. Umar cheated?
No, the
Oh.
co-host. So
Oh.
I'm like, you can't. We gotta drag them. Can't be doing that. But no. So I appreciate you bringing that up because you get a lot of shit like this.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just important to see like some of the positive sides and in aspects of like, especially developing on like who we are, like as we continue to go through like relationships and being single and recognizing like there's gonna be some moments of uncertainty where we might just want to jump into something, and it's like, nah, cherish those moments of being alone and learning about yourself and figuring out some of the things that you have to do to better your mind so that your next partner can be ready for you, or you could be ready for your next partner. But don't be settling. Don't be settling for something that you're not worthy of, or you're too good for, or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes I think people settle in the fact of, oh yeah, we have a kid now, so I got to be with you, or the fact of like they don't feel mentally they are capable of getting Megan Goods and the Beyoncés and of the world. Like, some Jay-Z got one. You know what I'm saying? Why can't I?
Nah, he a cheater.
He is a cheater. But would you take $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z?
That shit was always funny. You take the dinner. You should have took the fucking money.
If you take the dinner, Jay-Z will tell you should have took the money.
Exactly.
Like, don't be an idiot.
That's hilarious.
All right.
What's up? What's the next one?
Our next segment. Wait. Let me. I got. What the fuck was that? Did y'all see that? This is on camera. Y'all see that shit?
They didn't see anything.
Slow it down, y'all. You're a fucking monster. So our new segment that we're easing
Left on
into.
red.
Yeah, I gotta say it sensually.
Essentially.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
We're gonna slow it down tonight for y'all. Oh yeah. Are y'all ready to be left on red?
Left on red, left on red, left on red.
So we actually got two left on red.
Let's go.
One of them is
That's a record.
They target.
That's not a record. We've gotten 5.
Oh.
Eat 'em.
I already know they probably targeted too.
Eat a bowl of dicks.
Oh.
Yeah, you hater.
That was a foul.
This other one.
Pause.
This other one, I will not say who this is from, but I'm pretty sure
Did
you
they
can all.
request to be anonymous?
Yes, but
Okay.
This person also have left one before, but I'm not revealing who this person is. You can all probably put 2 and 2 together. But anywho, this person asked, they want to ask the show, why do most men or women think they can find their husband or wife at a club? What are other options?
Damn. We had this conversation.
And I
That's
will
a good
say
question.
this is from a OG.
Mm.
So
That's
I'll
hilarious.
go first. I think the club nowadays, you can't. I would say from 2015 till now, the clubs became obsolete. But back in the day, like you go to like Taylor's U of O, you could actually meet some, some nice ladies.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, you could.
Don't even lie to yourself.
I'm not lying.
Don't even lie.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. Okay.
Are you still with them?
No,
Oh, okay.
I met some nice ladies.
Oh, okay.
There's a reason that bar shut down.
Wow, that is the reason why. But I'll just say this. I would say now I feel like more than ever, clubs are just like you go out and it's the saddest thing. Like I'm with my boys, I'm with my girls, but
it's the same people every time.
Oh, most definitely.
Like I don't even go. I go out maybe once a month, and every time I go out, it's the same people I saw the month before. And I said, "Oh, this is all you guys do. This is their life." So when you go out, these are the people you meet. It's a circle, like any other activity. It's a circle. It's a group of people.
And it's crazy that you say that because then they end up sleeping with the same groups of people, and it's like because most of the time. Most men is looking for somebody to go home with in the club. Most women is looking for somebody to go home with in the club. And they end up meeting somebody sometimes in the club. And what happens? They either sometimes talk for a week or they don't talk for a week. But most of the time they hook up in that week process and not realizing that this is the same dude or same female who's hooked up with this person, that person, this person, that person, that person, doing the same thing, going to the club.
I would say the best place to meet someone is at your work. That's supposed to be a joke.
Oh,
from the last segment.
The gym.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I would say the best place to meet someone is. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say the motherfucking grocery store.
Thank God. Every time I'm gonna go, I'm like, man, would I talk to any of these women? Hell no.
I would. Shit.
Library.
Maybe
I would say the best place to meet someone is at a lounge that's not a club or a kickback or you're in transition. Or when I say transition, like you're moving from point A to point B. Like, oh, I see this person and you're going to walk by them. I feel like it's the best chance to be like, hey, yo, I saw you walking and like you made my day better. Like, can I know your name? Or when you're in your purpose and you're doing stuff, taking care of business, and you like run into a person and that synergy aligns. I'm talking about like you're like minding your business and you're like, oh, that's a beautiful person. That's the perfect time to talk to someone.
I feel like nowadays the perfect way to meet somebody is through someone else. I just feel like, especially like if you have a good group of friends around you who can keep you on your P's and Q's, make sure you're doing the right thing around you, and they come across a friend who's single or whatever, and they're like, I think you two would be good together, and allow that process to just happen naturally. Whatever they do outside of that friendship, whatever, is what they do. But I think nowadays it's all about word of mouth and friends linking friends together. Because like
I agree with that, but that is so just like you can't force
Pressure.
it.
true. Oh, absolutely.
It has to. You have to pray that like it just falls on you. Because I have I have a wide range of friend groups. I've never been set up on a date through my friend groups.
I got you.
I asked you all to him help me with shit.
You be asking me at the fucking at the precipice of like a crossroad. You're like, all right, CB, what should I do? Costing like knee deep in like a life or death decision, and I'm like, you are supposed to be the chosen one, and you do some dumb shit. Anywho, actually, I will set you up.
Okay.
I will set you up, and I want you to say nothing when she's
Okay.
and don't.
You have
fuck
this
it up.
lined up?
I can materialize some things.
I'm interested now.
Okay.
If you guys want my opinion, where I think the best place to meet someone, under 25 crew listening to this podcast, you know the answer.
And stopping at 18.
And stopping at 18, please. It is. You're gonna both hate this. It's dating apps, without a doubt. It's dating apps. I know Robert is so against them now.
Yes, I'm very against dating apps.
If
They're
you
horrible.
want, here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's two major factors. One, COVID did play a huge factor. COVID played a huge factor in people currently under the age of 25, because they didn't have that go out culture. They didn't have that clubbing culture for 2 years in their early 20s.
Oh, yeah.
So part of that is if you go out now, you don't really see a lot of young people. Maybe they might go to a bar here and there, but really they're stuck with their friends and they do things with their friends. Or maybe I do agree with your idea that it's through someone, but then I also feel like friend groups nowadays are so tight knit. It's hard to bust into a friend group. Pause. That is so tight knit because of the COVID thing. So for me, it's dating apps for that, as well as if you're actually looking for someone who's like a high quality individual who like went to school for nursing, is busy with work, school, is doing this stuff. I use nursing as an example because I meet a lot of nurses. Okay, there you go. That's why Robert's laughing. But if you're meeting someone who's putting their professional life, if I'm being honest, like myself, over their relationship, they're on these apps because they don't have time. They don't have time to go out to like do funny stuff. I don't know.
And you just use one of those patent line those women say, I'm just so booked and busy. I can't find a man.
Have time.
And I'm gonna say the same thing. You make time for the things you want. So you need to make time for some women who want you. I got a career.
So I got a question for you, Cos. So say you meet somebody on a dating app and you guys have been talking month and a half, 2 months, and she like, when we gonna go on a date?
When
and
you
can
sucking
be
my
like,
toes.
and you could be like, actually, you know what? We can go on a date such and such a time.
Okay.
You just created that time in your schedule to take this person on a date.
Yeah.
The same way you would create time with someone else to take this person on a date. So what's the difference?
The difference is I don't have to go out and chase as much.
Oh, that's the fun.
There's no going out, coming home empty-handed.
Oh, that's.
But you win some, you lose some. It's part of the battle. It's the same thing with dating apps.
Dating apps, yeah. But some matches lead to stuff, some matches don't.
But I think this is where like our age plays a huge piece into this, because the aspect of actual social interaction becomes way more important, because now when I see you on a dinner date, when I have this actual conversation with you in person, I actually know how to have this conversation instead of play behind the screen and play Tetris all day.
I agree.
Damn,
with
shots fired.
I agree with that, but that's
Nerd.
why, from my perspective, when I am quick to pull the trigger on going a date with them, I don't wait a month or two to go on the first date. I wait a week max, because I want to see if that person in person eye to eye, if they're worth actually talking to. I actually try not to talk to them over text as much as I can before I meet them in person. So I'll make plans with them, and I'll try not to message them until that day.
Ooh, the lie detector says he a dog. Ooh.
Because I've been in that situation where you're talking to someone over text. Everyone's different over text versus in person.
Absolutely.
So you have to prepare yourself for that, but also, you have to prepare yourself for that, and just, I don't know, act on it quick, so you're not wasting time.
Well, I do want to say one thing, because we're on this podcast about honesty, and I gotta say, I'm a hypocrite, you guys. I'm on these dating apps, gang. It is
You back out there?
Hey, look here, the last.
Is that where you found that? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so there you go. My point just got proven. Thank you.
Let me say,
My point just got
the
proven.
last 5 weeks, your boy's been
Okay, there you go.
up if it's stuck.
Didn't
Which
we
one,
have
man?
this
Hinge,
conversation?
Bumble?
No, I don't know what you talk about,
Which
but
one?
the W's in the chat for CB. Anywho, we have one more before we cut.
Oh my gosh.
We have one more before
Such
we
a
cut.
hypocrite.
I'm not gonna lie. You want me to lie? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The facts dragon has returned.
Sorry, if you don't want me to say anything, I can put the mic back.
No,
Go
please
ahead.
say something.
Okay, so per Pew research,
Shout out to Pew.
most
Shout out to Pew.
about a third of adults who are married, 32% found who they were married to by introduction from family or friends, 18% through work, 17% through school, 12% online, and 8% at a bar or restaurant, and 5% at a place of worship, 8% somewhere else. So just for some kind of added context there.
Okay, he's the facts dragon now. Is that fair? I'm getting a lot of
The red
positive.
dragon.
I'm getting a lot of positive.
Absolutely. I mean, I already agree with that a long time ago. But
Facts dragon.
it's like I said. I feel like nowadays you got to meet it through somebody else. I think it's a filter, it's a buffer. So now this person knows this person, and you can tell by the person that you keep, the people you keep, what type of individual you're gonna get out of this. Like, if I got ratchet friends and they like, oh yeah, I got somebody I need you to meet. I know what type of person I'm gonna get. It's just that's how it is. So go ahead then, Fat man.
You
Online.
gotta get a nice little emblem, so when you do like a facts dragon, it goes rah. Hit us with it. Anyway, I was gonna say blow some truth on this boss, but anyway, last one before we get out of here. This comes from the user Vanessa Tracy 10. She asks the guys.
Hey, Vanessa.
She actually watches and comments a lot.
Oh, yes, I know.
She'll say something.
Shout out to Vanessa.
She wants to ask us the biggest turnoff with women's personality / behaviors. We're not gonna make this long-winded.
What gives us the ick?
Yes, we're not gonna make this long-winded. We're gonna keep it short and simple. And since I did left on red today, I'm gonna start with Cost. You seem very enthusiastic about this.
What gives me the ick in women?
Yes.
What turns me off?
Yes.
Man, hold on. I had one good one, I feel like.
Ew.
What ew? Huh?
You were just so enthusiastic, so I thought you had like 10 on your hip.
I have to be careful what I say here.
Very true. I'll start it off. I would say my biggest turnoff with meeting women as a single man.
Wait, meeting women or just women in general?
She's meaning like behavior.
Okay.
I'm assuming meeting. I would have to say women who aren't emotionally intelligent or that are manipulative. And I mean like manipulative in the fact of, hey, I appreciate that you took time out of your day to take me on this date. Oh, you pay for all that. I appreciate that. I appreciate the things that you were doing. And I feel like in the day and age where people say they want men to be open and honest, I feel like a lot of women aren't. And a genuine goofy gal who like really wants to hear you out is something that is a dying breed. So I would say manipulative women, and you know who the fuck you are. Like y'all who take advantage of people. I don't like that. That's annoying. That behavior, self-absorbed, gives me the ick. So, back to you, Koss. We're gonna end with AJ.
Yeah, okay. This might get me toasted a bit here.
That's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine.
I get very turned off by women that like demand a level of respect that they did not earn. I knew no matter.
Look at the fact dragon. He said, "Give me the mic." He's just doing stupid shit.
I knew no matter how I was gonna say that wouldn't come out right. He's saying no. And here, let me clarify this. I know I've already lost the crowd, but to clarify this, what I mean by is when you're on these dating sites, for example, you see a lot of people that are like on the profile they say, "Oh, I don't need a man. I'm self-independent. I can take care of myself." And I'm like, "Hey, you know what? That's great. I don't need you either then." Like, okay. Like if that's how you feel, or it's like people or women on social media that just boast about like how much respect they deserve, how great they're doing and all this stuff. And it's like, hey, you know what? That is great for you. But at the end of the day, you're just average. And there's nothing wrong with being average. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being average. But there's no real purpose in also boasting about being average and then thinking you deserve something way more special than what you are also. That would be what I would say. I think a lot of people need to look in the mirror, and I know comparison is the killer of joy, but comparison also allows you to understand where you stand and kind of who you can like date and talk to and like hang out. I don't know. That's my perspective on that.
And I'm saying nothing. All right. I feel like hopefully people see where you're coming from. I do.
They won't, and it's fine.
So, AJ, what are your thoughts about this? Should I read the question again? I think I should read the question again.
Read the question again, my lord.
My lord. Okay, young squire, I got you. Biggest turnoff with women's personalities and behaviors.
Oh man, this is tough. This is
I got this feeling.
I think. Oh man, this is tough. I think expecting the outcome that I don't know, expecting the unexpected. I don't know how to really describe it. Like
what?
Or
I'll say it.
having
Nigga,
unreal
what?
expectations.
so that
What?
truthfully that's so having unreal expectations. I don't know what
Everybody
the hell.
got unreal expectations. You better genderfy this.
So like for example, I feel like a lot of women expect men to do certain things, but all men aren't raised to do everything that men, are. That some men, all men were raised different, right? So some men do certain things and some men don't do certain things. And I think a lot of women expect all men to be like this, and all men aren't like this. And so I think it's
You acting like a politician. He said this, that. It sounds like a cat in a hat book.
Say it with your chest.
Exactly. The women be doing something, and it make me sometimes upset.
Robert trying to get me in trouble.
Come on. This question was bait. Come on.
Wow.
Just
Absolutely.
I don't
Just
think it's
say
that
author.
much bait.
Huh?
I don't think it's that much bait. It's pretty. I mean, from my standpoint, for all this, I would say if you're throwing a fit, if you're abusing your friends while you're out, anything like that, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Y'all,
He's
that is
married. He
that
can't get at the ick.
no, that
But-
is coming from
So for me, I think my biggest thing is respect. I think that
okay, yeah.
but I think what entitles with that is how you treat your friends, how you treat the people around you, how you treat your family, how you treat yourself, like expectations. I think laying expectations on somebody is a level of respect. Like you got to understand someone's level of understanding of themselves, right? So like if you have an expectation on somebody that says like you need to be here and you're not, and I'm not, or they're not, you're not respecting in that sense of who you are. Even what RJ's saying, right? Like you go out and you treat your friends like shit. That's a level of respect to me. I think so. Like my biggest thing is just like how you respect the things around. My bad, all the things around you. Yeah.
Well, we all have our different perspectives for everyone who's watching. You see that? We all have different perspectives here. Nah, I'm just fucking with. But no, I just want to say I appreciate everyone who gave us a response this week. This is a portion that Cassian
Yes.
and AJ both came up with.
Huh?
You both came up with this segment?
No, that was cost.
Oh,
I'll give
sorry,
him.
I tried
I'll
to-
give
I
him
give
credit
him
where
the
credit is due.
I swear, yeah, you came up with the name. I thought you came up with the concept.
Oh, I did come up with the
Okay,
concept.
great. I'm
There we
not
go.
an idiot. Digivolve. All right. I remember that.
Did you vote?
Yeah, I'm a nerd. But the cool kind. But anyway, no. This is an opportunity for people to just talk back to us because, whether you feel we're right, wrong, whatever, please talk back to us because at the end of the day, we're different from any other podcast. Like, we're trying to grow, we're trying to be better, and we're trying to make you laugh from time to time. But with all that being said, I'm not going to lie. This has been my funnest podcast with us. We've all had very funny moments from RJ to Andrew to Kyle to fucking AJ. We've all had our fucking funny moments today. Like when I edit this, I like have.
You're gonna be laughing.
It's gonna be easier to make highlights because sometimes like I'm like, what's gonna be something for someone to like? All right, I want to see what more this person has to say. But I'm like, and like the last couple episodes, I was like, all right, maybe we could do this. But this episode, I got a lot of stuff to work with, so this will be funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have no ending. I don't know.
Thank you for the questions. Continue to send questions, especially those on Instagram, especially the ladies. I feel like,
Yeah.
since the ladies have a lot of questions about why there's not a lot of ladies on the questions, you can just ask questions.
But I feel like most of the questions do come from ladies, so it's like
that is
so it's like,
actually,
ladies, how about you come on the podcast?
That's actually 110% factual. Majority of our questions are 70 to 80%
Come
women.
on, stop hiding behind that screen.
So I think that also goes into a lot of what we talk about too, is like having opposite sex on the show and being able to have those conversations and embrace that. And since you're not here, those questions come in handy. Like, you guys can ask questions all day. Again, we'll show you, we'll answer those questions. Might take us a moment, but we'll answer those
It'll
questions.
take him some moments.
Not always. I just had to like truly think about it. I
RJ
think
with
it,
the alley-oop.
RJ just said it in the way I was.
I'm busting your balls.
Absolutely, I know. Pause.
Next time, maybe when we open the show, call me Cartier Bob.
Cartier Bob.
There we go. I just
Cartier
added-
Cobb.
Y'all don't have to be like them.
But thank y'all for listening, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
This show is gets better and better every time for me. I feel. I think I took more of a backseat this time in aspects. Shut up, Robert. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Arthur.
I mean, the reason we do this is because we see those viewers numbers. Every time it makes us think like, hey, people are actually watching, listening, doing all this stuff. So it means a lot that you guys are, we're getting viewers, we're getting likes, shares, interactions on social media. So thank you, honestly. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, like what we're doing. Like, comment, subscribe, and is Usher still canceled or is
Why was he canceled?
something like that? I don't know. Usher's not canceled, right?
No, I don't know.
All right, great. I like doing this. I like doing this.
We out.
Watch
Peace.
this. Watch this.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.